Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Rhapsody. This episode, welcome to the world of Wizardry. Um, the Wizardry franchise of RPGs is quite an interesting one. Um, it is probably one of the first. There are two RPG franchises that generally are considered to be kind of the starting ones, that being Ultima and Wizardry. Wizardry has the kind of benefit of, or I guess not benefit, but basically it's the first one that's kind of menu driven, and you can kind of trace almost every RPG kind of to this or Ultima, but this one I felt had a more worldwide presence. So yeah, why don't I? We're gonna have a lot of history of this thing, so why don't we just go ahead and get started? Hi. So Wizardry, it's a thing. Uh, Kind of have to go through a little bit of history lesson this because one, it's I think a pretty interesting story. Two, there's a lot of, especially with these early wizardries, that actually they have a kind of an effect that definitely wasn't intended, but it's one that's very notable. So Wizardry actually started out. There are two developers behind Wizardry. There's, and I have to clarify, Andrew C. Greenberg. There is a Andrew Greenberg who is known for being apparently one of the writers for Vampire the Masquerade. Not the same dude. This is Andrew C. Greenberg. He and oh god, what is his name? Andrew Greenberg and Robert Woodhead were two Cornell students that wanted to. They had basically one task. They want to recreate D&D on a computer. Now, they started this project in I think 78 or 79, and it wasn't until 1981 that there were actually, like, there's actual, like, programmatic ways of actually getting the game to work. They had to wait for a runtime, I believe it's a runtime, a thing, I forgot exactly what the name of it is, but basically something that could actually interpret the Pascal code to actually be a program. And when they were developing this, they also had a friend, I believe his name is Norman Surotek. His father, he started a company named Surtech. And one of the things about the distribution of Wizardry that's kind of one of these weird things that you don't kind of think about, especially the way how games are distributed now. When Norman decided to actually distribute the game, his father actually was insistent that they don't do what the other games were doing at the time, or what a lot of popular PC releases at the time were doing, which was to sell the game in Ziploc bags. He demanded that they sell it in an actual box. Because the other big RPG that was kind of... There was a game also that came out, I believe this one did come out in 79, a game called Aklabeth, which is developed by one Richard Garriott. Aklabeth being commonly referred to now as Ultima Zero. So yes, the start of the Ultima franchise. So yeah, Andrew, and I want Andrew Greenberg. Yes, and Robert, I keep on getting their names back mixed up in my head. But yeah, they basically tried to create D&D in a computer environment, which is what Wizardry basically is. The thing about Wizardry is that it originally came out on the Apple II. Also came out on the Commodore 64, kind of those early 80s computers. The thing about this is that the game actually has a really it has a bizarre fame in Japan. There were several Japanese developers that were able to play the game on the Apple II, and basically they fell in love with it. Two notable ones one of them being Yuji Horii, who is the creator of Dragon Quest, which you could kind of argue was a kind of a mismatch of taking Ultima and Wizardry, combining them into one game. Also, a developer by the name of Masanobu Endo, the guy who was the creator of the Tower Druaga franchise. He was very much inspired to create Druaga based both on Wizardry and D&D itself. So yeah. So yeah. I believe the first releases for Wizardry were on the PC-88, PC-98. I believe a company by the name of Fortune brought those out. However, there's two prevalent franchise, or two kind of notable versions, because they actually did come back out over here. They were the company that they were brought out by the company that Masanobu Endo eventually founded once he left Namco, named Game Studio. In fact, if you remember the last episode that we just had, Quest of Key was also developed by Game Studio, so it kind of all wraps around to that.
Mind if I interject quick too?
Go ahead.
You forgot to mention the influence on Final Fantasy as well.
Oh, did that? Is he another?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. Once we get into the game, it's very clear that some of the systems from Wizardry were kind of influenced into Final Fantasy as well. Especially one thing that would be taken out in later Final Fantasies. But back to the Game Studio one. That is actually the version we're going to be taking a look at today. Originally, they came out for the NES. They did so. The thing with Wizardry 1 is that there are naturally sequels to Wizardry. Wizardry's 2 and 3. 2 being Knight of Diamonds, 3 being Legacy of Llygamin. They kind of are basically expansion packs of the first Wizardry. They play incredibly similar, and so what I'm actually thinking about doing is kind of ranking all 3 for the first Wizardries based on the first Wizardry, just because they kind of are really similar, because there's no real mechanical difference between the 3. But yes, Wizardry 1, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, is the game we're going to be taking a look at today. And the version we're going to be taking a look at is a update to the NES version that was released on the Super Famicom for the Nintendo Power System. So the same thing that the Famicom Detective Club 2 came from. And it kind of had a similar treatment. So why don't we just go ahead and start? Once hopefully my NAS decides to actually cooperate.
Also, apparently you're being hosted by On.
Oh yeah. Thank you for the host then. Come on. Come on. I know you can do it. I hear it.
Okay, but I'll forever love that East art.
So yes. This version, obviously this never came out over here. The original 3 NES games did though. So yeah. Come on, here we go. So Media Factory. And also so it was developed by Game Studio, published by ASCII, I believe. But yes, this is Wizardry 1, 2, 3, Story of Llygamin, which is kind of the area that Wizardry takes place in. At least the first 5 them do. Yeah, so Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord. So this collection, it has access to all 3. They are kind of their own separate entities, with their own character banks. Although, one thing that was actually really interesting, as I mentioned, they're kind of expansion packs. You can actually once we complete Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, the characters that I complete the game with can actually be brought on to Wizardry's 2 and 3. Avatars are just there. Oh, they were Gung Ho. Okay. Yeah, because I think they also did. I believe these versions were also ported to the Game Boy Color. So let's do a select switch. Because go ahead. One thing that's interesting about these Japanese releases is that they always give you the option to play the game in English, to kind of reflect the fact that it was a game that was originally released in English, which I always thought was interesting. We are going to... So one big thing that this version does is the fact that it adds graphics. I will show real quickly what that switch I just did will do. Because yeah, this game came out originally in 1981. Not exactly the most impressive graphics. So when you start Wizardry, you're basically put into the town. So right now, we don't have anyone in our party. At the bottom, there's our party. Gilgamesh's Tavern, where is basically you do your party management. And the rest are only become available once you actually have people. So let's just create a character to kind of get the basics of the game kind of explained.
Man, I feel like owning a tavern is beneath him, but whatever.
Yes. By the way, the Gilgamesh Tavern, that's not like... These are all what they were named in the original as well. Actually, a lot of this was what it was based on, the original. So yeah, let's just create a character, and we can name our character. We can do... In this particular version, you have access to anything you'd want. Which is Lolo.
Wow, what a terrible name.
Yep, and we can create the character. So you have five choices of race. In this particular version, there is... The only differences between the 5 are basically your starting stats. So humans are pretty balanced. Elves are more magic focused, I believe. Dwarves are more stocky, and they have high piety, which is basically... we'll get to that once we create the character. Also, gnome and hobbit. I forgot exactly what their specialties are, but yes. Let's just do dwarf. So alignment. Kind of, as I mentioned earlier, this is kind of based on old D&D rules. In the first... so this was originally developed in 79. AD&D was out at this point, and I think Basic Set was out at this point. The original version of D&D only had 3 alignments, which I believe were lawful, neutral, and chaotic. That's kind of what these kind of are. I believe in the Wizardry manual, they kind of give a description, or one of the manuals for one of these kind of gives the description as follows. You can kind of think of these alignments as, suppose you are at a corner of a street, and there's an old lady that needs to cross the street. What you do is, like, each of the alignments would react in a different way. Good people would help the woman across the street, even if it was a little bit out of their way. Neutral will help them out if it is on their way or they aren't too terribly inconvenienced. Evil people will... Oh, thank you for the follow. Evil people will help them along, providing they get compensation. The evil that they all fight will help her halfway across the street. So let's just do... So what this actually does in terms of gameplay is basically really the only thing that it affects is, at least in this scenario, is what classes you have access to. I believe good can only... There is one class, I believe, that is restricted to good, and that is the Lord, which is essentially... think of a paladin. They are a fighter that has access to priest spells. Neutral doesn't really have any default class, or they don't have any special class, but they have the most wide range of classes. The evil class, they have their exclusive class is kind of arguably the best class in the game, the ninja, which I did a poll on my Discord server to determine whether or not we will be a good team or an evil team. Evil won out, or specifically naughty won out.
Naughty, get it right.
So yes, naughty won. So we will have a ninja on our team.
It's because Team Naughty lets you say fuck.
So here's the kind of the main stat building here. So there's 6 stats: strength, which is physical attack; IQ, which is basically mage spells; piety, which is priest spells; vitality, which is, I believe it has an effect on your health growth, although your class definitely has an impact on that. Agility is basically initiative. And luck, I believe, is likelihood of critical hits. And you are given a... let's see. Your bonus roll, that is randomly generated. Normally, in other versions of this game, it is determined... Like, you just get to the screen and you're just given one. However, one nice thing in this version... is we can reroll as many times as we want. The highest bonus that I have seen, I believe, is 20. Although supposedly, you can get things like in the 60s if you get particularly lucky.
You skip past an 18, you absolute fucker!
Because, yeah. I mean, we're not going to be using this character, so just to show it off. Also, what you kind of... what you kind of allot your points to determines what you have access to. Let me see. Yeah,
So let's just because I'm a good character, I do not have access to. Oh, is my mic?
Oh
acting up?
god, yeah. You're getting progressively deeper and I'm loving it.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Okay. How is this?
You sound fine, and I was giving advice to somebody without realizing that they couldn't hear me.
Okay. Also, 1 second, let me just quick fix. Okay. There we go. So, it's great because I just got a new mic, so this is going to be fun. Okay. So, I forgot what I was saying. But
Words.
yes. So because I'm good, I do not have access to the thief class. But also, so just kind of go through what we have access to here. These are kind of your basic, except for the bishop. The fighter is basically your fighter. Really just is good in physical attacks. Mage is basically your black mage. Priest is basically a cleric. They're not very... They actually are kind of more to be... They're kind of more of a tank in this game. Or maybe not so much a tank, because they have access to more armor than, say, a mage does, but it's not... they can still kind of take a hit. And the bishop is basically kind of a red mage, except they are just as squishy as a mage. Also, they do not learn magic at a faster rate. And, but the benefit that the bishops have is the fact that they can identify items. The other classes that we don't see here, Thief, if they are in the back row, they can do an ambush attack. Also, they are good at picking locks. If you find a treasure chest. The Samurai, which is basically a fighter that has access to mage spells, and the ninja that I previously mentioned.
The samurai, other known as the weeb.
Okay, so yeah, with that, we can actually go ahead and get the game started. So, I have gone ahead and made myself a party based on these Googobers. So yes, these characters, I have kind of leveled them up to level 9 into level 10 in some cases. The thing is, you can actually level up without getting story progress, so we'll be starting essentially the story new, although we won't be completely screwed in terms of having to grind.
Oh my god, you nerd.
So, one thing you might be noticing is the AC the AC gauge. The thing about old D&D, this is something that really confused me when I first started this game. Old D&D actually did AC rules kind of backwards from how we kind of know them today. The lower your AC is actually more armor. Because basically, if you'd imagine it, you basically have two people. Imagine like if you're trying to see if you hit something, both people would roll a d20. And basically what your AC would do would basically add to your dice roll, and the lowest value would kind of win. Later D&D would kind of reverse that. So yes.
I mean, I love the addition of... I love Thaco from fucking 18.
I think this is actually more based on Thaco.
I fucking hate Thaco so much!
Also, I've gone ahead because it turns out that memory location of what your bonus pool is actually very easy to find in cheat engine kind of things. So all of our characters have max out stats, which really doesn't do
Oh my
a
God.
whole much. 18 is the max. Also,
I mean, yeah.
one thing before we forget, kind of like old D&D, although not the case, this game has Vancian magic. So we have charges of spells. Also, speaking of spells, they have weird names. There is actually a very specific reason why they have weird names. Because in the PC versions of this game, you would have to type out those spells. They served as copy protection. So yes, you would have to, if you want to cast Lomilwa for some case, or for, if you, like, yeah. You would have to, you'd say, I want to cast the spell Lomilwa. And that one. Also, so this is a fan translation of this version. The translation is mostly good, except for the spell descriptions. They can get a little weird. Like, for example, this one. Or, not this one. What is it? Is it a mage spell? What's this one? I know there's one. That's also just completely wrong, because what that does is heals paralysis. There we go. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
See enemy true form.
That's not what I'm reading.
Yeah. Yeah, also each character
Also,
has their
please
own
explain it.
gold. Also, so one thing about the gold, and that's actually kind of how this game is kind of meant to be played, is basically this is a game of trying to exploit the game more than it exploits you. So the thing is, whenever you create a character, they have starting gold. You can create infinite characters. So if you really want to, you can create as many characters as you want, take all their gold, delete them, until you have as much gold as you want. Although that is not really beneficial in the late game. Okay, so I think we've kind of described the game enough. We can go ahead. Let's just go ahead and actually get into the maze itself. So basically, the plot of Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord. The Mad Overlord Trebor has tasked you with getting Werdna's amulet. Werdna is a wizard that is living at the 10th on the 10th floor of his Proving Grounds dungeon.
Trebor.
Yes, Trebor.
As in Robert backwards.
Yes, and Werdna as in Andrew backwards.
Fucking
They were not
lazy pieces of shit.
This is not exactly the most thrilling plot. So yes. So here's the thing. Remember when I said line or surface? This is what it would originally look like. This is a first-person game. This is a door. You surprise monster. Okay, so this is how combat works. So what it doesn't kind of show in the bottom is the fact that there is actually a front row and a back row. Your first three characters are in your front row, the bottom three characters are in your back row. Front row characters are the only one that can attack physically. If, for example, Bibli and Theron can only parry from the back row, or they can cast magic. Oh, well, I guess since she's a ninja, the ninja is kind of an advanced thief, so the ninja has access to whatever the thief has. Also, why can't I? Oh, dispel? Oh, I guess since technically I'm guessing it's considering kobolds to be undead because it looks like because priests can dispel undead creatures. Okay. So. Oh. Okay. Let's do that again. So. Rhapsody. Okay, it didn't do it. Okay, so. Whenever you kill a monster, they will either leave behind EXP or EXP in gold or EXP and a chest. Before you.
What the fuck kind of chest is that? What is that lock?
I don't know, but the thing with chests that you want to do is you want to make sure they're not trapped. So this is trapped with a stunner. We disarmed it, and we get 5 whole gold points. Okay.
That didn't look like 5, but okay, I'll take your word for it.
Okay, so why don't we just go ahead and do this. Oops. I think I can do that from here. Oh, nope.
What you are doing to that music is killing me.
Okay, let's set it back to surface. Oh, also, so another thing that, just to illustrate, it wants me to remove Theron. So, another thing the alignment does, good characters cannot join evil characters. Neutral can join anyone, but, yeah.
That's fine, because that Lolo dude's a huge nerd.
Yeah, let's leave him behind. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so floor 1. Let me just get. So there is no mini map in this game. This game was more meant to be one of those you have to draw your own map kind of deals. The only way you can mitigate that. Oh. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Matt.
Oh. Yeah, map. So the only way you can really do a map, there is a level 1 mage spell called Doom and Pick, which gives you your map. In the original version of this game, you would only be given those east and north coordinates. You were not given this map, you were just given the coordinates. Okay, so let's go in here. Make sure I know where I'm at. Okay, so I believe there's a key that we can find somewhere around here. Let's see. 2, 4, 3, so E. Let's see. Okay, I think if we go not over here. Oh, also, you can get surprised. Also one thing about this that, this does have is, you saw how enemies were kind of in groups? If you, trying to think what I was going to say. If you have an encounter that has multiple groups, and you say kill everything in a group, but still have enemies targeted to, or people that are trying to attack those group, they will kind of miss. So if you've played like old school Final Fantasy, that thing where you would try and attack a monster that's not there, and he would just whiff. That's kind of in this game, but only with groups. Also, your main encounters kind of come from, basically going through doors is kind of the main thing to, get an encounter going. Yes, it did say out. Yes, it did say ouch because I ran headfirst into a wall. This game doesn't hurt you for that.
You and your dumb wall running ass.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt you, it just pokes fun at you for being an idiot.
Way to run into a wall, dork.
I know there are a bunch of like modern dungeon crawlers that still have shit like that.
Also, I don't know if you noticed that.
Bubbly slimes? I did.
No.
They're cute.
Take a look at this door. Or this wall right here. Did you see how that door kind of just appeared randomly?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a hidden. That's a hidden door. Oh, there's nothing over there. Because yeah, there's hidden doors.
Oh, good.
The music in this game is killing me.
So here's the thing about the music about this game. There are 2 composers that are considered that have worked on this. One of them being Nobuyuki Onogi. He is ex-Namco. He is the person who created the themes for Mappy, Metro Cross, various other very early Namco arcade games. but then moved on to game studio with Masanobu Endo. The other person is named Kentaro Haneda. I'm just going to put this link in the Mike Wielder Hut, and you take a look at their work and see what you think. Because it is quite interesting.
What the fuck is this?
This reminds me of a lot of the...
so Kentaro Haneda is mostly an anime composer. Let's see, in this room is... Yes. We found a key. Rhapsody. Oh, right, because keys you find are, unidentified to start. I'm surprised that Lila is not showing off the ninja's the main ability of why they are so potent. Actually, I'm gonna give this to...
Yeah, like, there's... Wow, they did fucking Macross?
Yes.
A lot of old RPGs used to force you to basically turn into the wall to see if there was a door there. Because it wouldn't actually like show any doors as you're walking through.
And then item... Key of Silver. Okay, so yeah, just to kind of go through over Kentaro Haneda's anime soundtracks. Let's see, we got Treasure Island. I'll just go through the ones that are kind of notable. Space Cobra, which has my favorite anime opening of any anime, or one of them.
It's very good.
Super Dimension Fortress Macross. Also, Final Yamato. Barefoot Gen. God Mazinger. Bagi, the Monster of Mighty Nature, which is an Osamu Tezuka joint. Macross, Do You Remember Love, which is, from what I remember, that was notable for its music. Sherlock Hound. Project Echo 4. Also, then for game soundtracks, they did the Wizardry series, particularly the 1 through 3 on the Famicom and Super Famicom. Also, it lists Suikoden. I'm not quite certain if that's the Konami RPG Suikoden. That could be Ancient Bandits of, or was it Bandits of Ancient China, the Koei game. But yes, that is what they are a very prolific composer. Also, unfortunately, he passed away in 2007 of liver cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he left the industry pretty early.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Because, like, the last anime he did was in 91.
Okay, so now that we have the Key of Silver, I'm trying to think if that's the only main thing we need from here. There's a good grinding spot in here. Okay.
There's a pole?
Sorry, what was that?
What? Nothing. Didn't say anything. Oh, good. Lolo trying to find directions off in the distance is the new ASMR.
God, that is the saddest ASMR I've ever heard of.
Okay.
I could have sworn the door was over here.
It's just trying to look at a map that has a lot of little marks on it.
I wouldn't know anything like that.
Oh, here we go. So, whoop.
Shuffle that clock tower to a map
Let's see,
away.
This gem is encrusted here. Ah, here we go. So, occasionally you will come across an encounter of friendly something. So here's the thing with these encounters. They're kind of a thing that can change your alignment if you are not careful. If I were to leave right now, there is a potential for some of my characters to convert from evil to good. And if you have good characters, fighting friendly monsters will make it so that they can go from good to evil.
Hmm. Poor Murphy.
So that actually is apparently a really good grinding spot. Okay, this room is a study of... King of Wands. There we go. Let's see. Oh, I don't want to use one trade. Okay, Theron. Theron, who can do identify Key of Bronze. Okay, now that we are done with this section, we now are actually done with this floor. Yep. Oh, great. Oh, let's see. We have to go here and then here. Go down this hallway. Into the dark zone.
Oh shit, watch out for volatiles.
Go across the door. Go in the door.
Like I was just yelling that out you. Dark zone!
Oh, right. So here's the thing, we're kind of stuck at this section for now because we don't have an item. Except, nope. Nope, I went too far. Don't want to go on that elevator quite yet. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4,
The dark
5,
zone.
6, 7, 8. There. Strange glow. And we get transported back to the... There. So, let's heal up real quick.
The darkness.
There. So the way that the hotel works is basically, if you go to the cot, you will heal one HP per week. I believe the economy does 3. I believe 10 and then 20. So weeks are important for one very specific reason. And that is, if I go to the tavern, one thing you might have noticed when I looked at characters, they all have ages. Characters can technically die of old age, but it is really... You would have to play with them a lot, because obviously it's 52 weeks in a year. I believe once they get up to 60, they start to lose stats, specifically vitality, and eventually they will go to 0 vitality, in which they die. And that is a death that cannot be resurrected at all. So they're just gone.
Where's my youngling spell?
Because the thing is, if characters die, that is what the Temple of Cant is for. There's also spells that can revive them, but the thing with that is that the thing is when you revive someone, and the spell fails, they turn to ash. When they turn to ash, you can also technically bring them to the Temple of Cant, which it is more expensive to heal them or to revive them. I can't remember if they can just straight up go away. But yes, ash is not a good spot for them. Also, I believe that. Also, one fun thing is that whenever your character dies, they lose stat points.
I mean, if one of them dies of old age, then the temple is appropriately named.
Remember when video games hated fun?
Yeah. Okay, so we want to go over here because this will take us to floor 2. Let's go to floor 2.
Those aren't stairs, that's a ladder.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is kind of annoying me, actually.
Okay, let's go over here. So. Okay, let me just get my bearings on where we're at. Okay, so we're here. Let's go over here. If I were to go into this door without, I believe, the key of bronze, I would just be said, hey, you can't go in here, and then go back. So I believe... Nope, nothing here. Okay. Oop. Okay. Let's see.
Just this man carving these bear statues because it's the only kind he knows how to carve.
Stunner, disarm. Also, by the way, let's see. Oh, wait. Oh, it gave me the wrong thing. There. Not surprise you. I believe if I go in there without something specific that there will be a trap that gets triggered. Oh. Okay, I'm missing. So that statue that I got lets me go into there, but I don't have the other thing that I need. I'll go down this hallway. I think. Oh. Keep on forgetting what the button does. Where am I? Oh, I am going down the hallway. Oh, there we go. All the way down here. Go on the invisible door. I kind of want Lila to show off the ninja ability because it's really good. I think if I go up here... Oh! Wait. Yeah. There are pitfalls.
Pit! All it's missing is a pendulum. I feel like a lot of these games missed the opportunity to have the player just turn into a wall.
So if the ninja crits, it's instant death.
It's also a good sound effect. Ow.
By the way, you fight enemy ninjas.
I'm just surprised that absolutely none of these games had like a secret where you turn to the wall and there's just one brick down and a person behind it saying, "Where's the Amontillado?"
Robes. This is gonna be mage. Oh, by the way, also, I'm pretty sure that anything can technically be decapitated, even if it's something that normally you think would not be able to. Like, say, a gas cloud.
But
BRB decapitating a slime.
But no, the gas doesn't have a head. Torpid also that Tower of Slime thing.
Granted, is it possible to decapitate something that's entirely head?
Maybe.
What? Just like
the
a
answer is
head?
Yes.
Or like an orb.
A slime. It's entirely head.
Oh, I found a sword.
I think you should just throw salt on the slime and be done with it.
Animate shakes its legs while it yells, "Yeah, yeah." So there's that statue. Also, supposedly someone's here. Creeping crud.
This is the most relatable enemy I've ever witnessed.
Also, one thing that will become apparent, and thankfully has not happened to me yet. Status effects are incredibly dangerous in this game. Especially poison. Because the thing with poison is, as you would expect, you take 1 damage per step you take. The thing is that your antidote spell is a level 4 priest spell. Which, I don't think I gained that spell until I was level 7. Which, I believe you can actually beat this game at level 13. Or at least I did when I first played this game. So, yeah, that's a pretty big investment. Or you can just buy potions of neutralizing because I believe they're only 5 or 300 a piece, which is actually surprisingly cheap. Let me just think of where I'm at.
I forget, were spell gains random on level up?
Yes. My characters aren't going to probably level up for a while, so we'll see what leveling up entails. This room is... There we go. There. Creeping cruds. There's actually a really good enemy on this floor that I hope I run into because it's one of the best ways to grind in this game. Now I just gotta remember where's the down. Oh, I know where it is. Oh, great. Okay, from here. Here.
Man in robes! Scruffy man!
There's 2 scruffy men.
Those men didn't look scruffy.
Oh, they're also enchanted. Okay, 4-3 sucks. Which, by the way, I did the other thing that I did link that's on the Japanese site does have maps. Okay, so here's the thing with this one. It's basic. There are 1 pitfalls, 2 traps that are, turn you around in a random direction. You see the problem with this?
Oh god, the only way to tell that you've moved to a different one is the shadows are slightly different.
Yeah. Or you do this. Okay, we're going turning left. Okay. There isn't really much on this floor, I believe. Yeah, because this is basically just a really good way of getting your stuff stuck. I think if we just go forward, there should be... Nope. How did I lose...
I don't understand my cat.
It's a cat. There you go.
She was just chewing on some new shoes of mine.
Delicious.
Oh, amphibian. Let's see, from what I
Kill
remember,
the frog?
the frogs suck.
No! No!
Squish the frog!
Schmarson's gonna be so sad!
Okay, 4... Oh god, this looks fun.
Oh, this one's got a yellow tint to it.
Okay, where do we start?
Alessa's like me, she hates everything.
Tia, I need these shoes. My other ones are just worn the fuck down.
Give the cat one of those shoes.
I wore through to the soul.
Time to go through the door maze.
Also, the soul itself is, at this point, completely flat.
Dragonflies which suck because they... Oh. They can do a breath attack, which will hurt every single one of your party members. Whoops.
So I guess you could say your shoes aren't gonna be in a jazz band anytime soon.
Fucking leave.
Oh, okay, there's it down. Fine.
Okay, first off, Max, you know exactly what kind of soul I meant, you shit. There's no second off, actually.
I think I missed something. 7. Oh, let's see.
I'm still glad I got fucking called out by a game dev for naming my character ass Max.
We couldn't take
A
that
game
out.
dev who,
That's a common,
a game dev who has a game that we're actually going to be taking a look at tomorrow too.
I know, and I am super looking forward to it.
They do some really good stuff.
Yeah, Watch It Eye seems like they do really good work, even though I'm not like someone who's super into
One of the best game
games
genres of
are
all
super
time.
good, and their collaborative stuff is generally pretty solid, except for that one fucking game.
Was that the one that you played?
It was Resonance, and it was
Yes. Oh yeah, that was like for the most part it wasn't super bad and just sort of
writing was really bad.
like I missed a good portion of it, but like the pieces I did see early on didn't seem so bad, but that and
Yeah. So the early stuff wasn't the problem.
yeah, no, it's the stuff that I did see the end parts where it's just like yeah.
What if Watchmen, but worse?
All right, Lolo's away, so I'm gonna oh no, Lolo's back. Never mind.
No, I'm here. I'm just trying to figure out because this map is kind of confusing. What the hell am I?
The real
problem
nappy
is-
started here.
Also, the problem is the fact that this game is kind of meandering, so... Okay, there I'm at. So there's actually...
I don't know what you're talking about, Lolo. Dungeon crawlers are very cut and dry, straightforward experience.
Like dungeon crawlers have come pretty fucking far since this.
Let me tell you about the glory of double dungeons.
But also the problem is the fact that, there's multiple ways you can go about this, and I think I'm doing this not the best way. So I just gotta head back to floor 1. Which thankfully, thanks to me actually trying to level these characters up. Yeah, here's the thing that sucks.
Hearing this victory music fucking constantly. Shit's
Also-
fucking killing me.
Also, all the potions in this game are basically just casts of spells.
No, what I'm really enjoying is the images that they're using to distinguish between each space is basically the exact same image, but the dirt pattern on the ceiling in the middle tile and the bottom of the floor mirror each other. They just kind of mirror back and forth.
Okay,
I'm just glad this doesn't have wall buttons.
Okay, testing ground control center design. Bring it. Okay.
You just heard Lolo's war cry. When you press inspect, I just imagine the other party members gathering around that one person, just staring at them intently.
Oh. Okay.
And I mean, Axis could be worse. Let me tell you about action dungeon crawlers.
Yeah, games like Grimrock and all that.
Eye of the Beholder is one of the big ones.
Yeah.
That's a rough one.
Let's not.
I like Grimrock, but after a while, I feel like it just gets a little too hard to play. and keep track of what's going on.
It's a thing you have to build right, and yeah, it's the actual combat is
Garbage.
it apes Eye of the Beholder pretty heavily, including its flaw.
Oh, good. None of my characters turned. Let's see. Let's see. Is this? Yeah. Let's not do that. In this room,
It's
there's
a little
large
rude.
desk.
Oh. Wow.
Not broken as you enter.
That is a terribly formatted wall of text.
No, that is a filled out text box. Holy shit.
I literally cannot
here we
read
go.
that.
As the party enters the room, the door slams shut. The
Fuck off.
glows orange and vanishes. A door appears to the right. A voice coming from the ceiling addresses you. Congratulations, brave adventurers. Today you have proved yourself to me and are now ready to start your quest. Years ago, my amulet was stolen by the evil wizard Wordna.
And
Wordna hides in the maze below us. Thank you for the bits. Find him, slay him, and return to me the amulet. To aid you in your quest, I will give you a blue ribbon, which you may be used to enter the elevator on this floor. Now go, and may the gods guide you.
Slay him. That won't be a problem with my out.
Oh, I mean, Google, yeah, no, it could definitely be worth. God, the action dungeon crawling is the worst.
Okay. So now that we have that elevator, or now that we've done that, let's see.
I mean, there haven't really been any puzzles. Like the good ones in Grimrock.
To be fair, this is much older.
Yeah. Still.
Like, this is fucking ancient.
Okay, let's see. Oh, actually, never mind. Because there is apparently a hidden or a fight that I can find that has a chest that has the Ring of Death in it.
Ooh.
The Ring of Death, you can sell that thing for 250,000 gold. There's two problems with that. Well, there's two things. One, if you equip it, it does exactly what it says. Two, the holder of it takes 5 damage per step. And if you drop it, it's gone forever. Let me just double check to make sure.
These old ones really loved malicious bullshit like that.
Okay.
It reminds me of the old, I forget who made them, but Uninvited.
Icom games or Icom simulations.
Yeah, it reminds me of their games. They always had at least like one bullshit item.
Well, yeah. Well, I think the Ruby in Shadowgate, or not Shadowgate, the Uninvited. When in the original PC version of it, that basically acted the same as the torches in Shadowgate did. Basically, to give you a timer.
Well, because I remember when I picked it up in a play of it on I think it was NES. If you picked it up, it would go off in like a short amount of time, and the only way to undo it was to just put it back in the drawer. Yeah,
in the NES version, they basically made it a dead man walking weapon, or not weapon, but item.
Yeah.
To be fair, at least it was like easy to make up for the fuck up in those games. It was kind of funny. These tend to be a lot more malicious.
Right, because you sink a lot more time into them before it fucks you.
Granted, in the Shadowgate remake, there was the Banshee Cry, which was the absolute... and could leave you in a fail state.
I forgot where the elevator was. Oh. Again. So. So, private elevator. Now that we have the blue ribbon, we can actually go in here. And that can take us to any floor except for the bottom one. Let's go to floor 5.
Okay, but why a ribbon?
I don't know.
So you can be pretty.
Oh, that looks... So here's the thing.
Nougat.
The floors 5 through 9, except floors 5 through 8, serve no real purpose.
Oh, so they're my floors.
They are basically floors that are meant to basically act as, places to grind, I guess.
Fucking bitches!
Because as you, go through, the floors have progressively harder enemies, as you'd probably expect.
Good job bashing those bishops.
Yeah, because I don't even think these have, like, dedicated, items in there. Whoops. Oh! That's good. Wait. Oh. Actually, I wonder if I can... Let's see. Let's do a little bit of... trading. Oh, trade. Armor. Okay, let's see. Plate mail, shiny chain. Ooh, Sword of Swishes. Let me open up my handy dandy guide to see what Sword of Swishes.
Gives you a cat tail.
Sword of Swishes is... Where are you? It's cursed!
Ha!
So there are cursed items in this game. The thing with cursed items is that when you equip it, it gets attached to you. Also, they tend to suck. You know what? Let's go down to floor 6.
I do like that this dungeon has an elevator.
Does it make you miss?
No, it just... I guess is what it kind of means.
No, see, it's the sort of swishes, so any basketball shot you take is going right through the net.
Damn.
Hitting nothing.
Oh, that's somewhat disorienting.
Don't hit them, they're high.
Oh, Jesus!
All they wanted to do was smoke up.
What does a mega or mage blaster do? Potion. No, let's not do that. Sure, this is gonna go well. Nope. Okay, there's that. Also, one thing about this game that's actually surprisingly nice is the fact that the run rate is actually very high. So if you don't want to have a fight... I thought that's a cheap samurai.
He just bought it at a costume store.
It's just made out of cardboard they found on the side of the road.
Oh wow, these things are living up to their name. There we go. You know what? Let's just do this. So, healing spell, I believe. Dialma? Yes.
Probably gonna need to look at
heals 3d8. Oh, also, yeah, because this is based on Dungeons and Dragons. That includes dice rolling. So things are like, for example, weapons will do like 1d8 or 2d4. The thing is that since it's a computer, you can have dice of any type. For example, there's a weapon that I have that does 2d3 damage.
Okay, but no.
Or 2d7.
Especially now.
God, that sounds disgusting.
1d1.
The impossible dice.
There we go.
Just ask the DM to do something incredibly stupid. Yeah, sure. Roll a 1d0.
Nope. Let's see. Let's do some. Let's see. There's something in here. Nope. By the way, some of these floors have spaces that they call silent zones that do exactly what you expect them to do.
Don't have any music?
They don't let you do magic.
No.
Also, by the way, here's the best way if you're trying to grind. Because if you hit down, you will do a 180-degree turn. Except now it's not doing it for me. But this is one of the best way to grinds. It's just to spin around in a circle. Where are tigers?
That just looks like a tiger.
Oh, Jesus!
You getting your ass kicked? You were getting so fucked up right now.
Why can't it poison?
I don't know. And that's not even that good of XP.
Torpid.
Let's not do that again.
Wow. He fucked you up bad.
Yeah, just kicked your ass hard.
Also, I like the fact that whenever you use a potion, that it just leaves behind the broken, like the empty bottle.
How do you break a potion by drinking from it? What the fuck are you all doing? It's just like chewing off the top of it, just sucking it down.
It's actually made from sugar glass.
Jesus. Man, you ever drink soda so hard you shatter the glass?
Okay, what the hell?
As I said, sugar glass.
What is that one insect going to be? Oh, it's a giant spider. Okay.
I mean, it could be a huge spider.
No, this is specifically a giant spider.
Okay, but there's also a huge spider.
Well, it's dead now. Wow, that did not give good XP.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't grind here.
Yeah. Let's do floor 8 just for funsies. Oh, this is not a good...
Oh, no.
Also, by the way, you'll like the fact that the format of this dungeon, it forms a RJW.
Fuck off!
What?
For Robert J. Woodhead. Oh, which, by the way, I should mention Robert Woodhead, the character that Trevor is based off of. So, in 1988, he, after working on the first 4 Wizardry games, he left Surtech to found his own company with his wife he met in Japan. The name of that company is named Anime Igo. So he founded a company to translate anime and bring it over here. Some of the which actually I have a Blu-ray of they Kickstarter that he actually just put up, I think, like in the last couple of years. Because yeah, Anime Ego was influential, or let's see, Anime Ego. Ego, like the
Oh, I see what you mean by the thing you got.
Yeah, so let's see, their current catalog that they brought over: 80 Police Files, Bubblegum Crisis and Bubblegum Crash, Gunsmith Cats, which is actually I actually really enjoy that.
Otaku
no Video, Writing Bean.
Also, Bubblegum Crisis is fucking amazing.
Vampire Princess Miyu, is that? No, that's not the one I was thinking of. But also, they did bring over some samurai films, such
They brought over a shitload, holy crap!
Yeah, like the Lone Wolf and Cub series. It looks like there was one... Okay, maybe not.
The 5 Miyamoto Musashi films.
Other things that they have brought over are You Are Under Arrest.
No, I'm not. I didn't do it.
Kigurami, Orange Road, Oh My Goddess, the OVAs.
Oh my god, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Specifically the OVAs. Urusei Yatsura, son of a bitch!
Oh, they did bring over... Oh, yeah, Urusei Yatsura. Yeah, go figure. So, yes.
A lot of old shit.
Yeah, a lot of old shit. But yes, that's what he did after making Wizardry. By the way, I do believe he also currently... Let's see, is it still up?
Oh yeah, no. Bubblegum Crisis, good shit.
Is it .com or is it .net?
.netcom.
Yes, it is. If you go over to madoverlord.com, it'll take you to the Anime Igo wiki. Where he and his wife show off like what they have worked. Also, the apparently works in robotics with his son.
Oh, that's cool.
Or his kids. So it is
great, actually.
It's not like certain other people who will direct a ton of really great movies, and when their son directs one, goes, what a disappointment.
Also, the fact that he is still taking, a lot of, he's still going by the Mad Overlord moniker is still pretty good.
Okay, but I like under About Us irony.
What? Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw Bubblegum Crisis for the first time recently, and I fell fucking in love. It's great.
Let's not go in here. Let's see, what is... And I believe is a...
Hey, Elsie.
Let's see, is this floor... Oh, also floor 9, which forms the letters ACG. So, go ahead.
I hate this so much.
Go ahead and take a look at the map that I have linked for this and see the wonderfulness of it.
Also, 2032 is not inferior to the original. They just kind of go for different things, and they're massively different.
Let's see.
But they're both very good. So, where's maps? Maps. Please tell me where map.
Wow. That's such a good noise. I want to hear some more of it, please.
I mean, the 2032 kinda had to end after what happened.
Nope.
Oh, Jesus.
Just fists flying everywhere.
Well, this guy doesn't get spell. That's the problem.
This is how Wizardry was meant to be played.
Girls who fight in robot suits in a cyberpunk future. Everything's kinda shit. It's great.
Okay, let's see what other stuff we can find in here.
Okay, but what about piloting a robot with 3 of your friends?
No.
That's garbage.
Okay, I want to fight these because if I remember correctly, this shows off another fun mechanic that this game has.
I don't like the way that you said that.
Axe, let me tell you.
You see how those are called life stealers?
Is this gonna be good?
I mean, Tia, the last few are great. Like, honestly, 2032 doesn't get interesting until halfway through the fucking series. The first half just feels like filler, and then the plot happens, and it fucking goes places.
That's like saying the game gets better 20 hours in. No thank you.
Buddy, one of my favorite animes. The first 10 episodes you can fucking throw away and not miss a goddamn thing. It is 50 episodes long, but the first 10 are meaningless.
A fifth of it? Fuck off.
Geez.
Get that away from me.
That's why I never recommend it, because I feel really stupid.
Just like, yeah, it's a pretty good anime. 10 episodes in. Yo, Torpid, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Why did you recommend this shit? So you're gonna pick up your state and hurl it into the sea because of this.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was alright, though.
Okay.
They 100% though did paint themselves into a fucking corner.
No, see, Max, what you do when you write something is you just half-ass it all the way
Right
through.
by the seat of your pants.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you've got to proc gen your stories.
I still love that. I think it was the 5th of the original 6 Bubblegum Crisis, like OVAs. Is kind of amazing because the person they had leading the animation is a noted porn artist. First off,
Is Kenichi Sonata?
yes.
Yeah, guess who also worked on Gunsmith Captain Writing Beat? Also, by the way, since it is a game we technically have ranked, the Gal Force anime he also was character designer for.
Has had a lot of fucking work, because he does good work.
I mean, you do enough porn. Apparently makes you good at anime.
I just know
it's
his...
the dude's got the skill to back it up is the thing.
He is a good artist. Also, I know him from Gunsmith Cats and Gal Force. Because I looked it up because of Gal Force being a HAL Laboratories game.
I like that Max noted porn artist expert.
You want to talk about Osamu Tezuka?
Actually, no. It was.
Or you want to talk about
Masamune?
I was gonna say you want to talk about Masamune Shiro.
Also, it was Satoshi Urushihara, who
and I know none of these people.
Dude, he's.
I was gonna say Masamune Shiro is the guy who did Appleseed and also Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Yeah, no. The person who did this was Satoshi Urushihara, and it was very prominent porn artist. Been doing shit for ages, but
also
he basically.
Let's say also Tex-Mex.
Fucking Tex-Mex. Let me tell you about my goddamn love of Black Lagoon. But yeah, no. Basically, he did all of the 7th OVA in his own style, following none of the model sheets.
Also, reject.
It was great because it had like the entire episode had fucking amazing draftsmanship. Like it was stellar.
I actually found a potion of neutralizing. That's actually kind of good.
But nothing was on model.
Hey, you want to guess if the Epee of Dismay is cursed?
No, it strikes fear into your enemies' hearts when you wield it.
God, these...
You just can't. You can't eat butter. Is the problem?
God, you got fucked hard.
Yeah. There's one specific sword that I want to find because I think I was mentioning the fact that this game has somewhat of a sense of humor. One of the more prominent weapons in this game is called the Blade Cuisinart.
Okay, I like this. You have my attention.
There is a picture of it in I don't know why I said East. Wizardry 4. It is basically a 4-bladed sword.
Like you do.
Which, if you are, because I don't know how big the brand is in other territories, if you're not familiar with Cuisinart, it is basically they are a big manufacturer of kitchen appliances, particularly food processors. It'll parry pretty much anything because if I remember correctly, it's actually one of the best weapons in the game. Also, talking about OVAs, this game has an OVA. Which is actually, it's great because there's that certain genre of video game OVA where they stick to the game mechanics incredibly hard.
Oh no.
It is kind of amazing how, like, detailed they get. Also, what's great is that one of the main bad guys in that thing is voiced by Norio Wakamoto.
Oh, fucking yes.
Because he, also one of the best swords in this game is the Muramasa.
Just the man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, by the way, you celebrate your birthday.
Aw. No, I didn't. Mine's not for a little bit.
Yeah, you got a couple days.
More than a couple days. Actually, fuck.
See, now we gotta trick Torpid into a call so we can all say happy birthday.
3 is more than a couple.
Ah, it's a few, you're right. I didn't realize you remembered it.
I think it was, there was something I saw that, yeah. But yes, okay. Now that we've done that, we can go back down. Okay. Oh, you're kidding me.
Ah, God.
Actually, I should check. How close am I to... Let's see, Lila is the one. Oh, Jesus.
Remember when kobolds were fuzzy boys?
Remember, no one knows what a kobold is nowadays. It's great just to see how many things that... It's like that thing is like, oh, we have a small animal kind of creature. It's kobold.
To be fair, later versions of D&D would kind of revise what a kobold was.
Kobolds just don't get as much love as the goblins.
Just Japan decided to stick with the old kobold. I don't remember the reason for pig orcs though.
For the what?
I wonder if that has something to, like, why pig orcs became a thing.
Yeah.
I want to say that they're a thing in. I want to say it's a Journey of the West or Journey to the West thing.
Okay.
So another interesting thing to note as you go through is the ceiling and floor stay the same throughout, and what really, like, the walls, you know, like, everything changes around the ceiling and floor, basically.
You know what? I respect you for paying this much attention.
It's just little things I'm noticing. Like, look every time Lulu gets up to the wall. The ceiling
look at
hasn't
the
changed.
ceiling. No, it's not changing though. Well, it's...
And same with the floor. The floor doesn't change. It just places that sprite
But it's an asset flip for the ceiling.
It's just really interesting how they did that
Okay,
visual.
also-
Just put the sprite.
I'm
in
just
the middle.
saying that
That surprised me. No.
Oh my god. I knew this was gonna suck.
Okay, but they look like they are having the day. Just really excited to be there.
Because I
I
want to.
still don't.
Pardon me, I'm like debating about like. Because how long have we been going?
We've been going for about an hour and a half.
About an hour of actual thing. Because the thing is that technically we could just go straight to the end. The thing is, we will get absolutely obliterated.
Look, just all you need to do is like Game Shark in some experience or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't remember exactly what the best way to get XP is, because I would just give everyone XP.
Look, this is retro rank Rhapsody. We don't do any of that cheat on here.
Bullshit!
Joke's on you. This thing has already been cheated. How do you think I got those dice rolls?
What's the name of this again?
Wizardry. 1.
Oh, no.
Wizardry
I'm in.
1, 2, 3. Actually, well, I can just do this and see if.
Wizardry 1, 2, 3 ABC.
Let me do. I doubt that there will be any action replays. Cheat file. Super NES.
Wizardry. Very good at typing.
3. Yeah, they have
Oh,
5,
yeah. The
and they have
Times
6.
of Westeria.
What?
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 No, that's
What?
not. That's
Yeah,
not.
no. God. I'm really good at.
Little trumpet there.
Okay, there we go.
Looks like they had a paintball fight.
You know what?
Let's see what cheats we got. What cheats we got? Nothing. Fuck you. There's the one about creating and killing people to get money, but other than that...
Play it legit, fucker!
Well, here's what we're gonna do. Oh.
How come Baltac don't renew his stock?
What?
Did I fucking stutter?
Yeah?
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're going to, just in case this goes unrecoverably south, it's from a safe state.
I like you hiding that you're safe stating.
Oh, there. What? Oh, I got mixed up on what was confirmed and what wasn't. Okay, so we're gonna go. We're gonna bum rush the last boss and see how well this goes. Because the thing about this game is that any enemy is accessible to any status effect.
Ninja.
So
You're gonna rely on the ninja, aren't you?
no, I'm gonna rely on silence hopefully working.
And the ninja.
And the ninja.
Look,
The
silence
ninja,
is
if I could decapitate Wordna, that'd be great.
That'd be beautiful, actually.
But
'Cause you
exactly,
absolutely can do it.
that would be completely Dungeons and Dragons, though. The DM worked so hard in the campaign, and the party gets to the final boss, and then some dipshit just, like, crits the fucking thing. I actually had that in a campaign where we came up to who was supposed to be the main bad guy early on, but we didn't know who was the bad guy. So there's a conspiracy, and he was supposed to be one of the good guys. And we somehow ended up in a fight with him, and one of our party members rolled a nat 20, rolled another one, and then confirmed, and fucking took his head off halfway through the campaign.
So where is...
And the
I mean,
DM was pissed.
I just play idiot characters, so. Lolo's witnessed one of them firsthand. I've got another who, in the last fucking session, was screaming over and over again, "I'm not going to jail." After
let's figure out what the hell this thing is first.
Hold on.
Look at this beefy boy. It's the cow. It's that fucking
unit.
cow.
Okay, I gotta see. Also, yes, seen firsthand. Guess who? You want to guess who Lila's based on? The combination of all 3 of your idiot characters. Oh, hey, one of my characters can level up.
So first off, Max, what happens is she may have charmed a guard captain in a fit of panic.
Inscribed on a fancy gold plaque is the message. It is a message. The script is ornate and blanks in various colors. You are trespassing on the domain of Wordna. There is no possibility that you can get past my guardians. So sure am I that my defense is that I give you this crew. Contra Dextra Avenue. P.S. Trebor sucks.
Trevor sucks.
By the way, that Trebor that sucks that is part of the original script.
Yep.
That is not a change at all, including the spelling of sucks. That's S-U-X. Also, Contra Dextra Avenue. Do not go right, because you do so, you go back to the dungeon.
Max, the name's backwards because they're not creative.
Okay, so let's see. Floor 10. Also,
Okay,
this has a
Rhapsody
unique track.
backwards is Ido Spar. Naret. Ilbib. Sack.
Who's pro- Okay, how much? Oh.
That was 4, Elsie.
Oh, by the way, so the thing with teleporting, because eventually at some point you will learn a spell that can teleport you, you have to give the game the coordinates of where you want to teleport. There are floors that have solid walls in them. So if
You will die.
Yes, if you teleport into a solid wall, that is instant death. You cannot recover from it. Those characters are gone.
Great.
So you can telefrag yourself.
Yes.
Also, Max, dip rot sounds actually like a fantasy thing, so I don't know how to feel about this. The powerful dip rot.
Did I give this sword to the one? No, there we go. Come on. Swordy plate and sword of slicing, which if I remember correctly is actually good.
It's a sword. It slices.
Sword
It
of
dices.
slicing. There's dagger of slicing. Sword of slicing. Maybe this is the dagger of slicing. But no, it was a sword.
Maybe this translation blows.
Well, this is what the things were called, like this is what they were called. Sword of slashing. 1d10 plus 2. This is a really good sword. So the person who can use it most is going to get it. Oh, also one other thing with the ninja is that it's not really potent for a while, but if they go unarmed, they will have natural armor.
Can't believe Lila is based off our characters and evil. I don't believe this.
Remember, kids, swearing is good.
Remember, kids, swearing is good. You should try it sometime. Hey, kids, here's some grandma candy. Don't talk to the cops.
Oh,
Trevor sucks.
Trevor sucks is so good.
okay. Oh.
Your attacks are pretty low in damage. Or is that just based on the monster? And they're Thaco.
You know what?
Please do not bring up that cursed term.
The worst goddamn mechanic.
Oh, good. I found 2 of them.
I loved it 2.0, but goddamn it, Thaco ruined everything for me.
Okay. You
No,
guys-
AD&D fucking sucked. And look, I fucking love Planescape Torment, so fuck me, I guess, because I gotta deal with Thaco and that.
Like Dungeon World.
Masher of Mages.
Ooh.
The Mage Masher.
Masher of Mages, if I remember correctly, that is...
The Mage
Uh,
Masher.
Oh, yeah.
It
That's...
applies silence, doesn't it?
1d6 plus 1. Yeah. That's a good thing.
Does
so
it apply silence?
2 to
I
7.
don't think it does.
Then what's even the fucking point of calling it the Master of Mages?
I think it has a use, and I think the use of it does cast the silent. It might. The thing is, the site's in Japanese, so I have no idea what it's meant to be.
I am so very sorry, Elsie. Like, oh god. Icewind
Oh,
Dale.
Phew.
Yeah, let's not
Ooh.
bother with that.
I hate to be the guy that brings up the meme, but I'm sitting there and you guys are saying Thaco, and I'm just sitting there stroking my whiskers going, Thaco, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Okay, we're gonna have to stuff you in a sack now. And swing you out into space or something.
Just hurl you
Surprise
into the
monster.
sun.
To be fair, our protagonist here, I don't even think he knew of Dungeons and Dragons when that was around.
Probably
Lolo,
not.
what do we need to roll to throw them into the sun in a sack?
Unseen Entity, this seems good.
Wait, okay, so is it a canvas sack?
Oh
or
yeah, there it is!
Fuck.
Yeah! There's level draining enemies in this game.
Yeah!
That's really good. Also the level draining.
So the thing about the level draining that I'm not 100% certain of is,
Doesn't it pull from your high stat?
the thing is... Okay, the thing about it is that I don't know if actually I think it drains your levels, and it's permanent, quote-unquote, but I think it doesn't drain your XP, so if you just go back into town, you could just be like, oh, get those things back.
Congrats on Sword. Cass has it.
Yeah, well, I need to... So, each character can only hold 8 things.
Ew.
So,
I see.
yeah, he's gonna get those, Cass...
Yeah, why were you even holding on to the curse shit?
Because I can sell it. Not for much, but
Just
still.
here, have this deeply cursed equipment later, loser.
Identify... Blade of Biting.
It's incredibly cursed equipment. All you'll hear is cruel angels thesis.
1d6
Just
plus
this
1.
equipment is more cursed than that joke I made earlier. Enjoy.
Okay, so if I remember correctly... Okay, not quite yet.
I don't know, Torpid. I mean, I just posted a joke that said I want to play Skyrim again. I'd make a female Khajiit archer named Layla, who only ever shoots people in the knees.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
but
there we
more
go.
importantly, they better bring the fucking rebuilds to Netflix. I want to see Kaoru's head explode in HD. Give me this.
Hold on, no, somebody just posted, I hope the cruel angel gets their degree.
Oh boy.
Oh, nope.
Just gonna
Okay.
post the most important thing to ever come out of the rebuilds.
So you're gonna post both, right?
Of course I'm posting both! God, what kind of person do you think I fucking am?
Do you want us to sincerely answer that question?
Don't! Ever!
Yeah, you're right, LZ. It's gonna be all done by Scarlett Johansson.
Look, we all know ScarJo's gonna play Asuka.
Look at that. No.
I don't care as long as Lolo, you don't succumb to every other streamer and make an ayaya emote. I'm okay.
What?
Make an
Okay,
emote.
Perfect.
I don't know what that is.
It's better. That's perfect.
Yeah, you shouldn't have mentioned it. Just left him in blissful ignorance.
Too late.
Can't go back from here.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't.
It looks like a bird?
Well, it's one of the streamers that I watch is a guy named Problems IRL. I don't know if you guys know him from
Nope.
Smite or anything. But,
Nope, I get too much of those myself.
But it's his mascot is a penguin, and it's the ayaya meme plus
Oh, hey, Marcus goes.
plus his penguin.
Yeah, right there, Lolo.
Murphy's Ghost!
What could possibly go wrong?
Also, see? Right there. Cass.
At least the combat in this game seems halfway alright. I mean,
Yeah, it's quick. Thanks.
as opposed to going back
As
to my
opposed to
previous
Dungeons and Dragons.
going back to my previous comment about Might and Magic and how arbitrary it was.
Buddy, that's a large number of old dungeon crawlers.
Oh. Okay, so you know what we're gonna do?
Like, Lolo hasn't really showed off how much of a raging cock this game is.
I'm just wondering why he picked this one as opposed to the NES
it
one.
is...
Because the NES, this is basically the NES one.
This is the less terrible looking one.
Yeah, because the NES version actually has a little bit of an issue of draw distance.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's...
Okay, the discreet sign on the wall reads, Lair of the Evil Wizard Werdna. Office hours 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. by appointment only. The wizard is in. So the thing is, when you beat Werdna and get the amulet, theoretically, if you come in with a different party, it's not like you'll stay dead. So if you have any party members that have beaten Werdna, it'll say the wizard is out. So this is going to go incredibly poorly. Okay.
Beat Andrew.
Okay, so let's do this. You're gonna
Throw the
cast...
potion of neutralizer.
Okay, which one of this is... which one is it? Is it Catino?
Sure.
Group sleeps. That works. Lila, you're gonna go for Werdna's head. You... is it... okay, which one is it? Montino. You're gonna hide. You are gonna cast... Everyone gets AC down. You are going to cast... Immobilizes.
Gotta cast Manifold Destiny.
Oh, good. He didn't even cast the spell that I was looking at. Oh, let's see if he casts it. Yeah, that's about right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what the alternate outcomes from that could have been. So he's not casting the spell that I was expecting him to cast. I just need to see it, so... Go on, so pick. Oh, also, yeah, Vampire Lords, Tilto. He's not casting the spell. I'm surprised that they make a really big deal about in some other things. Nope.
Thunk, thunk.
Also, yeah,
Dead.
Cast. Oh, wait.
Seem to be at an impasse of being killed.
No, I'm trying to... So there is a spell that he could cast that is a highest level mage spell that they make kind of a big deal about in some areas.
Is it the nuke?
Yep, there it is. Tilt-A-Weight. Which is, the game's lore describes it as the effect of a thermonuclear blast.
It is the nuke.
Which yeah, will do 10d10 damage.
Jesus! It's a
Okay.
bit much.
Yes.
Okay. So here's so also we can now actually level some of our characters. So here's the way that leveling works. When you level up, you will gain hit points and also occasionally sometimes spells. The amount of hit
Congrats
points you
on getting 1 hit point.
is random.
Like everything else, and it sucks.
Also, sometimes you can lose stats.
Sometimes you can lose multiple stats.
Wait, hold the fuck on! You level up and you lose a stat?
Yes.
Yeah, no, these games are bad.
This is horrible!
That's why I said earlier, remember when games used to hate fun?
Holy shit, that's not even hating fun! That's just hating, like, all the rules and logic of the very system you're based
It is
on!
actively malicious, and
That
that
is
is the problem.
stupid!
Also, what spell did we get?
I hate this so much.
Mahalito. Oh, you got a fireball.
Yep. Oh.
Just imagine one night, you go to sleep, you wake up, you feel like more of an idiot. But like more so than usual.
So much hatred.
Show me your hit dice. This is the okay.
Okay, so let's see what that sword is.
Lomi's looking kinda ragged there.
Yeah. Ooh. FP of Excellence.
Yes!
It's like the other one, but good.
FP of Excellence.
So close to being an Eevee of excellence.
1d6 plus 2.
EP of excellence.
It has a high... So, there's also 2 other hidden stats, which are basically like your speed stat, which is basically how many times it can hit.
Mm.
Also, there's another stat, which I can't exactly remember what it does.
Is it the love stat?
It's not the love stat.
Is it the sincerity stat?
So, let's see. Let me... Okay, yeah, actually... So, here's actually the best way to handle people when they're hurt. Is to get your priest to a hospital, or the thing so he can rest and get his spell charged back. You get free healing, essentially. This is the one thing that would have been nice if I had a lord. Is that I would have yet another person who can cast healing magic.
Okay, but no gods or masters. To hell with the Lord.
But I kick ass for the Lord.
This is you're an idiot. So you had to hear it from me.
Kick your ass for the Lord.
Okay, there's everyone.
You do that, champ.
Right into the sun.
Enjoy the hollowest ass kicking you'll ever give.
There. God, so much XP needed to level up. Okay. Ugh. How long have we been going?
Like 2 hours now.
An hour and a half. Because the thing is,
Oh, yeah, start at 8.
we've seen the final boss, and I'm wondering, have we seen enough of this game?
Yes.
Okay, so
This fucking game.
yeah. Also, just to kind of show it off. Also, here's a weird thing about it. Seems to be the Japanese ones that do this. Is that technically so the two other campaigns in this game are Legacy of so the thing is that for some reason the Japanese the releases tend to swap the orders of 2 and 3. Knight of Diamonds is technically Wizardry Scenario 2, and Legacy of Llygamin is Scenario 3. I don't know why they swapped them, but they did. Because the thing is actually in Japan, the releases, I do believe Legacy of Llygamin came third. So I don't know why it's labeled 2 and 3 in this one. But yeah, Knight of Diamonds is essentially the same game. Like, it is a very similar game. But the thing is that it's just another dungeon. It's 6 floors instead of 10, except it seems like every floor actually has something with it. Legacy of Llygamin, basically, the one interesting thing that they do is that certain floors are locked by alignment. So there are certain floors that evil characters cannot enter, and some floors that good characters cannot enter.
Sounds miserable.
So you either do multiple parties, or you just kind of finagle the friendly monsters in order to get your party to swap. But that is very, very finicky.
Sounds terrible.
But yeah, why don't we just why not? I can actually just show it off because there's no. It doesn't require you to beat 1 to go to 2 and 3. Also, same thing, but different music. Also, there's a pre-built party if you don't feel like building one. So yeah. I was gonna say, is this the one that... No, this isn't the one that... Yep. I'm pretty sure also it's the same exact thing in the... Oh, okay, so they just call them +1s in this one. They don't give them weird names.
Good.
But yeah. They're essentially the same kind of things. But with different... Oh, that's neat that they actually just straight up call them what they are. But yes. So yeah, it's basically the same game. It's the same kind of thing. Also, Legacy of Llygamin, you're going up instead of down, but that doesn't really make a difference. And Knight of Diamonds.
What is this music?
I don't know,
Very
but the Adventurers in this game has one of my... This was actually one of my favorite pieces of music in this game.
Time for the romantic night scene between the protagonist and the heroine.
I guess.
Sorry, that's what that makes me think.
Oh yeah, it's very...
Well, there's multiple characters.
Oh, okay, so...
Plural.
Knight of Diamonds apparently just does have the same thing. Some of them are slightly different names. But yes.
Okay, but that bass, though, was very, very good.
So there's your battle music for that.
It's like a figure, but made of skeleton.
Yes. So yeah. I mean, that's... Oh!
It just looks like it's
Actually,
screaming,
I
Mr.
know,
Bones!
for Wizardry, I know what we need to do. Oh, they're undead kobolds.
So what do we need to do?
Kill the small humanoids.
Get a full party wipe, I think is what he's going
Yep.
for. No, that seems to be working.
Going well.
A lot of undead.
Yep.
Noted necromancer, Llygamin.
Oh. Yeah, this will help. Smog beast. Oh, the small objects. So, these small objects.
Huh.
Breathing for 0.
Yeah.
So, those are creeping coins, I believe. They are an incredibly good way to level up, because they don't really do anything to you. Oh, so here we go. There.
Man, what shitty parents.
Rest in peace, FTR1,
Fitter
FTR2.
1 and Fitter 2 in Prees.
Peace.
Also, I wonder.
Not please.
Also, I wonder, are they deleted? Oh no.
Nope, they're just dead.
So yep,
I'll
That's-
never forget you, please.
that's that. So
I love my dead gay Prees.
yeah, let's bring this up. So yeah, I think that belongs in the delve category because this is the dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
I would probably put it above Tower Druaga.
I disagree, but okay.
Or you think? Where do you think it? Where were you thinking?
I would rather play Tower of Druaga at this. At least I feel like I could complete Tower of Druaga in a meaningful fashion.
Dungeon crawlers are tough because like they take way too damn long
Yeah.
and can be a bit poorly
I mean,
balanced.
also the Wizardry games are incredibly obtuse, stupidly RNG, and just all around an asshole.
Yeah. So I can get behind giving it or putting it below Tower Druaga. I would still probably rather play that than Dragon Slayer though.
Oh, definitely. No, I will not disagree there.
And I'm just gonna call this 1, 2, 3 Llygamin Saga. This is episode 61.
Still can't believe that Gilgamesh is running a tavern and not just fucking up a Grail War.
9. Oh, what version? Let's say that version came out in 94.
I mean,
By Game Studio. Platform is SNES.
history. This was.
And this is straight up an RPG. That is definitely an RPG. I don't think I have Dungeon Crawler in here. I don't. Tone.
Okay, so this game might be later than you think it is.
Oh, is it 97?
99,
Oh, right.
supposedly.
Okay. Yeah, I can believe that actually, since it's Nintendo Power. Because I think Famicom.
Yeah, it's
Detective
99.
Club.
June 1st, 99.
Yeah, because when did Famicom Detective Club? Oh, that was 1989, but I think that was also a 1999 release for the Super.
Yeah, I think that
Famicom
was
version.
like 98, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah, so
Tone.
that's insanely late.
I mean, also, I want to say that the NES ports, I think, were 90 or 88. So they were mid. No, it was 87. So right around the time that Phantasy Star and the original Final Fantasy were coming out. Because I believe Dragon Quest was 86. I mean, also, the original came out in 81, so. Because I want to say it was 81, 82, and 83. They came out in relatively rapid succession. But yeah. What should we consider tone for this? It's kind of pretty
I mean,
straightforward
it's
outside.
kind of standard fantasy, yeah.
Yeah, it's outside of a few little cute things. It's pretty atonal.
Yeah, they generally tried to play it straight, even with the in-jokey stuff.
Let's see. Sound.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like the music in this game. Like I think that I mean, granted, some of them are a bit repetitive. And I would almost say that I kind of almost prefer, like, there's something about the NES version of this that I actually kind of really like. And just as a point of comparison, like the battle music that we heard throughout the game is this.
So, like, I didn't think the music was bad, but my problem is the constant jumping between music tracks made it start over and over. And it
Well, that's
doesn't
because
sound
he was
good.
like he was rushing through it. Like if you were playing it at a normal pace, it would probably sound a lot better.
You would still tear through fights like that.
Yeah, because you can definitely still speed through fights.
And they happen constantly, so you never really get a chance to enjoy the dungeon too.
Also, and just to say what happens whenever you beat. So if you beat Wordna, you get the amulet, and if you go back to the start, basically you're awarded 50,000 EXP and I believe 50,000 gold a piece. Also, you will get a carrot right next to your character's name, like the little up arrow thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's really all that happens, and you get a credit roll. So yeah.
Neat.
I would still probably give the sound probably a B.
I don't know, because like, well, some of the tracks were good. Some of the tracks and sound effects were extremely intrusive. Because there was a couple of like I can remember a couple like shrieking noises that were very sharp, and just hearing them.
Like the decapitation noise is very sharp.
Yeah, I would put the sound at like a C or a high C if you had one.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, C sounds good.
It's not that the music was bad, but it's because triggers were constantly going off. It kind of fucked it up.
Yeah.
Style is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It was fantasy.
Yeah.
It works pretty alright, but also it is insanely late game SNES, so I'd be worried otherwise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Feel. There is something about the general flow of a Wizardry style game that I think would probably be like, if you cleaned up a lot of the bullshit of this game, this style of RPG I love playing. The character customization, which by the way, I didn't point it out. So you can change your character's class. Kind of if you go back into town. If your character has stats that meet a new level, you can get a different class. The thing about that is, if you do that, your stats get set to your race's default, and you're going back to level 1.
Ready.
Also, all of your spell points that you have are going back down to 1 as well. I do believe that actually you can keep some spells. So you actually could do a little bit of multi-classing if you wanted, but I don't know exactly how that works or how practical that would be. But yeah, it is as basic of an RPG as you can get because it is one of the first. This is practically the first menu-driven RPG.
The RPG, if you would.
Yes. Because I mean, you could say Aklebeth. There was also those early or mid 70s muds like Oubliette, like those kind of really.
It was actually in part inspired by Oubliette.
Yeah,
I remember muds,
which I remember. So there's because I don't think Rogue was out at the time. I think Rogue was actually surprisingly late, if I remember correctly.
I'm trying to remember. There's a mud that I played where like the big thing was you wanted to get accepted into a snake cult and get bitten by a character.
Actually, Rogue was a year before it.
Oh wow. But even that didn't have quite combat like this. This was this was the first game that had
Rogue's combat was not menu based per se.
It was bare bones, yeah.
Yeah, the only time you did menu stuff in Rogue was if you wanted to use an item Otherwise, you were just kind of smacking your character into the other character.
Yeah, it was like strictly a numerical thing.
Yeah, it was very different type of style of combat than Wizardry.
Yeah, and there's actually a thing with Wizardry games kind of getting screwed by how late they released, because there's a SNES port of Wizardry 5 that came out in 1993. If I remember correctly, I think Chrono Trigger was out at that point.
Yeah, you're
and
not
also
really
the weird
winning
thing.
going up.
Also, the thing with that port is, if I remember correctly, I believe Capcom actually was somehow behind that port. Like, I think they might have just published it, but I remember their name being somewhere on it. But still, feels
like crap.
Yeah. Because there are some things I will give it. Its run rate is incredibly high for a game like this. It is surprisingly generous in very specific spots. That being said, it is also incredibly not friendly in many, like, a lot more other spots.
It is very malicious.
So yeah. Let me look at the metric guide.
Like it's fascinating from a historical point, but it is aged insanely poorly.
I feel like dungeon crawlers of this type, regardless of the year they come out, age pretty poorly from the moment they release.
Depends upon how recent, but yeah, like if it's before a certain like year, then yeah, I agree 100%.
Because like I went into Grimrock fairly close to around the time.
That's because Grimrock apes very heavily, like it wears its influence on its sleeve.
And because Grimrock, that's mostly inspired by games like Dungeon Keeper and Eye of the Beholder.
It is specifically Eye of the Beholder that they ape real hard.
Which I think Eye of the Beholder was kind of more aping Dungeon Keeper.
It is action.
Because I think Dungeon Keeper is a game that it's...
No, Dungeon Keeper was different.
Oh, was it? I can't remember. I've never actually played Dungeon Keeper.
Dungeon Keeper was dungeon management. It was a game where you managed your dungeon.
Is it? Hold on. There's a game that starts with dungeon that I know is a first-person RPG. It's the one that Etrian Odyssey is based more on. What the hell is the name of that game? There's too many games with the name of dungeon in front of it. Dungeon. I don't think it was Dungeon... No. Oh, yeah. Dungeon Keeper. This is definitely not it.
Nope. Told you. Mystery Dungeon?
It's not Mystery Dungeon. It starts with the word dungeon. And Dungeon Explorer, because that's the... Yeah, that's a TurboGrafx game. And, oh, what is the name of that game? Sorry, I need to... First person RPG dungeon crawler. Oh, that's the first person.
Dungeon Master?
Dungeon Master, that's the one. That is a game that I believe was mostly inspired... let's see. The game that became the prototype for the genre that has notable clones like Eye of the Beholder. So yeah, this is the one.
Yep. And
that came out in 87. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like with Legend of Grimrock, they outright state like Eye of the Beholder is
yeah,
like
because I believe Dungeon Keeper was the first one with what they call the paper doll concept. Either that or Eye of the Beholder is one of them. But anyway, look at my metric guide. I kind of want to give it E.
No, like, I would 100% say E. Yeah, no, it doesn't feel good to play nowadays.
Yeah.
It is one of those games that is incredibly hard to go back to.
Yeah, there is a certain type of player that I would say probably would enjoy that kind of thing, but it's not a majority of people.
Can we just throw in like an S for history?
Yeah, I mean, there is no other category for this. This game is insanely influential. There's not an RPG franchise, I would say, nowadays that has not touched or been touched by the Wizardry series.
In large, like just fucking JRPGs alone, most of them fucking stem from it.
Because if you think of Persona, that on the front it doesn't look like an or Wizardry game, but go back to Shin Megami Tensei.
Not even Shin, Megaten.
Yeah, I was gonna say Megaten. Yeah, that's very clearly like if you take a look at screenshot, it looks like a Wizardry game. Phantasy Star itself, granted that RPG doesn't, it exists only in its online form, but is something completely different. Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but roots.
Yeah. Final Fantasy has its roots in it. Dragon Quest is explicitly half Wizardry, half Ultima. Also, just to point out the influence Wizardry had on Dragon Quest. One of the first games that Yuji Horii worked on, a game by the name of Portopia: The Serial Murders Cases. It's kind of like, if you remember Famicom Detective Club, it's a game like that. But there's one place that you go into a first-person maze. If you go into a certain spot, you will get granted with a message, "Monster surprised you." Like an explicit reference to Wizardry. So yes, there is no other. It is getting an S. There is no. If there is any game that I think we have taken a look at so far that deserves a S, it is absolutely Wizardry. Age, however, that's automatically in the F.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
There is so many things. Level draining. Negative leveling up.
Negative stats on a level up.
Negative stat gain on level up.
Fuck it, it's not even a stat gain, it's just negative stat.
As I said, negative stat gain.
Especially, and also even that random randomness in leveling. Fancy and magic.
Randomness in literally fucking everything you do.
That's amazing.
But yes, this game is aged probably the most of any game we've taken a look at. Also, that difficulty is a nightmare.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Any dungeon crawler is gonna immediately get like a low grade on the.
Although,
there are modern dungeon crawlers that are much more approachable, but yeah, no, this one.
Yeah, because like
Etrian Odyssey.
Even Etrian Odyssey, I would just call Etrian Odyssey difficult.
I mean, Etrian Odyssey is difficult intentionally, is the thing.
Yes. It's very much a throwback to these. I would almost say that Etrian Odyssey is even more sadistic in certain aspects than Wizardry. Like, think of item creation in Etrian Odyssey, where you have to find the specific like items for creating like crafting, and also they're incredibly expensive.
Later EOs are generally a bit kinder, but yeah, no, I get you. But also, it's less outright malicious is the thing.
Yeah, especially with the mapping in the Etrian Odyssey games, I think is really good.
Yeah.
Also,
I still like how good like even writing out your own map feels in that game.
Yes.
And not even just like writing out the map, but you can mark off points of interest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's Wizardry 1, 2, and 3.
God.
The thing with I think at this point I should just kind of go over kind of a little bit of what comes after Wizardry 1, 2, 3. As we've mentioned plenty of times, this game was highly influential in Japan. So much so because the mainline Wizardry games, there are 8 total. Technically 9 because there was a spin-off called Nemesis, which is like this weird. It is like an action dungeon crawler kind of thing that was released for the PC and Saturn.
You know, it's funny now that I think about it, because there were 2 huge RPG franchises that kind of led to, I guess, the split between game design philosophies in the East and West. Because we borrowed a lot more from Ultima while they borrowed a lot more from Wizardry.
It seems like it. Because Wizardry 4 is its own beast, and I have no idea how I'm going to play it.
You need a guide for that.
You need a guide. Wizardry 4 is more of an adventure game than it's more of a puzzle/adventure game than a straight up RPG. It has also been referred to as the most difficult game ever developed. Because
it's a right fucker.
If you've it out Sierra.
Okay, that doesn't sound fun at all.
It isn't.
It isn't. The thing is, so after Wizardry 4, Andrew Green, as I mentioned, Robert Woodhead left SurTech. They brought in another person. I believe his name is D.W. Bradley. He would work on Wizardry's 5 and then the rest of the franchise except for 8. Because Wizardry 5 is very much akin to Wizardry's 1, 2, and 3, with some additional elements. For example, they add ranged weaponry, so you could have physical attacks from the back row, and also things like spears and all that. Not a whole lot, but just enough to make it a little bit different. Wizardry 6 and forward are completely different beasts altogether. They are much more akin to something like Might and Magic or modern at the time CRPGs, because I believe that was early 90s when those were created. Those are referred to as the Dark Savant. They add a whole bunch more classes. They had a bunch more races, and they kind of went back to their more comedic roots. Like it's a much more, if you think of like games like Bard's Tale nowadays, it's like that in a sense. And then Wizardry 8 is its own beast because D.W. Bradley apparently got upset at SurTech, and basically he went off to make games that are kind of like the Dark Savant Wizardry, which is 6, 7, and 8. I believe Wizards and Warriors for the PC is one of them, and I forgot what the other one was named. So that's SurTech's involvement in Wizardry. After Wizardry 8, that was actually the last game SurTech made. The only other prominent franchise that SurTech made was a franchise by the name of Jagged Alliance, which is a strategy RPG that's like kind of modern military, but you're like this mercenary group. I've heard really good things about it, but I've never actually played any of them. So that's the domestic story of Wizardry. So there's 9 games that came out over here. There are at least 30 Wizardry games that came out in Japan. Because the company that published the NES games, ASCII, would end up actually making their own Wizardry games in-house that played a lot like 1, 2, and 3. The formula of 1, 2, and 3 really kind of had a foothold in Japan. The ones that ASCII made was called the Wizardry Gaiden series. There's 4 of them. 3 of them are on the Game Boy. 1 of them is on the SNES. And what's interesting about the Wizardry Gaiden series, it's the gameplay of 1, 2, and 3. Well, technically, I think a little bit of 5. But it actually adds the stuff from 6 and 7 and 8 into it. Well, technically 6 and 7. So you got the races and the classes, but in the original formula, which I thought was really neat. Also, and they're pretty neat games altogether, at least. But there's also games like Wizardry Empire, which seems to play exactly like the older Wizardries, but it just has a different name. I don't exactly know what the thing is. But also there was actually a thing I forgot, I think it was like 2009 that this happened. But there was actually something in Japan called the Wizardry Renaissance, where companies were making Wizardry games, like pretty prominent ones. Taito made their own. Square, or not, I can't remember if it was Square Enix or Sony, made an MMO that was based on Wizardry, which was Wizardry Online, which lasted like 2 years because no one over here really liked it. There's also been, I think Acquire ended up making a Wizardry game for the PS3. Then also, I forgot what company made the ones. There's also a Wizardry reboot on the PS2 called Busen Wizardry, and it came out over here as like Wizardry Forgotten Darkland or something like that. But yeah, this game, and also as we mentioned earlier before, this had a lot of influence in Japanese games. Shin Megami Tensei, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, a lot of it. So yeah, that is Wizardry.
It was Sony.
Oh, it was a Sony?
Yep.
Okay.
The developer was GamePot.
I don't know who they are, but yeah. Also, and then there's plenty of modern remakes, or plenty of modern games that are trying to ape the formula. You have the Etrian Odyssey series. You have Stranger in Sword City. You have that game that just came out. Was it Labyrinth of the Refrain? I think it's called.
Labyrinth of Refrain, yes.
But yes, if you were looking for a game like this, but also one. So I mentioned those Wizardry Gaiden series. I want to say that the people who made those would eventually go on to make a game called Class of Heroes, which is very clearly a wizardry kind of game, but set in an anime high school kind of thing. So yeah, there is a wizardry game.
Choir, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's probably why they made that new one. So yes, that's wizardry. I think that is an episode.
It sure is.
So yes, thank you all for watching. If you were watching this on Twitch, like right now, if you want to see an edited version of this video, you can go to youtube.ldp.life and you can watch watch my edited videos there. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can go to twitch.tv/LoloDePuzzlo and hopefully drop me a follow, and you can watch some of these live. And if you want to keep up to date on what I am currently working on, you can follow me on Twitter @LoloDePuzzlo. Or if you want to take place in polls and just kind of chat with some people who are pretty good, you can go follow or join my Discord server at discord.ldp.life. So yeah, there's that. You have options. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a good night.
Later.
Bit.